At 32, I was the founder of a hot tech startup. We'd just landed a huge investment, and suddenly, I was everywhere. Podcasts, magazines, you name it. I had the downtown apartment, the beautiful girlfriend, and the confidence that comes when everyone calls you a winner. I thought I was invincible. My company was in logistics. We were going to change how everything moved. For a while we did. My team looked at me like I was a genius. I fed on the energy, the praise, the money. I thought that was the destination, but I stopped paying attention to what mattered. I was watching the scoreboard, not the field. Every day felt like a new victory, another contract, another investor. I was so busy climbing, I didn't notice the rungs getting weaker. I ignored warning signs, pushed my team too hard, spent money like it would never run out. I was the captain, steering full speed ahead, blind to the iceberg right in front of us. That's the thing about being on top. The air is thin, and you start believing your own stories. But success isn't magic. It's hard work, luck, and humility. I had the first two, but forgot the third. I was so high up, I couldn't see the ground anymore. And when you can't see the ground, you have faster than I could have imagined. I thought I was untouchable. I was wrong. 6 months later, it all fell apart. A giant competitor entered our market. More money, more people, more everything. I was arrogant. I told my team we could beat them. We couldn't. I ignored the data, the worried faces, the reality. My pride sank us. Closing the doors was the worst day of my life. I stood in front of 40 people and told them they no longer had jobs. I lost their money, my investors' money, my own savings, everything. The silence in that room was deafening. Then my personal life crumbled. The stress poisoned my relationship. My girlfriend left. I couldn't blame her. The man with the Midas touch was alone. The empire, the money, the girl, gone. All that was left was me, in an empty apartment I couldn't afford. The phone stopped ringing. The friends disappeared. The fall was instant, a gut-wrenching drop. I hit bottom. I thought the climb is brutal, and I was left wondering how it all went so wrong, so fast. For 2 months, I was a ghost. My bank account was negative. I barely left my apartment. I hid from everyone, paralyzed by shame. I waited for motivation, for a miracle that never came. The lowest point? A Tuesday afternoon. I scraped together change for a coffee, but my card was declined. The cashier looked at me with pity. That was worse than anger. I walked out and wandered to a park, sitting on a bench for hours. I watched people living their lives, laughing, playing, loving. I felt completely disconnected, invisible. I wasn't part of the world anymore. I was just a spectator watching from the sidelines of my own life. That was my rock bottom. Alone, broke, and ashamed. I had nothing left but a mess waiting for something to change. I had to do something, anything, but I didn't know where to start. On that park bench, I noticed an old man picking up trash. He moved slowly, with quiet purpose, one piece at a time. He wasn't trying to clean the whole park, just his little corner. Watching him, something clicked. I'd been waiting for motivation before acting. But he showed me, action comes first. He didn't wait to feel inspired. He just started. In that simple act, there was dignity and purpose. I realized I'd been seeing my failure as an impossible mountain. But what if I just focused on the single rock in front of me? That old man taught me. You don't climb out of a hole in one leap. You climb out one small, steady step at a time. I went to the apartment and saw my first piece of trash to pick up. It was time to start small. Back at my apartment, I didn't try to fix my whole life. I just washed the dishes. It was a tiny victory, but it mattered. That small act gave me fuel for the next one. I needed money, so I took a night shift loading trucks. It was hard, humbling work, but I was grateful. For 8 hours a night, I focused on the box in front of me. That job saved me, financially and mentally. After a few months, I saw problems in their scheduling. I built a simple program to automate it and showed my supervisor. That little script got me a promotion. I was solving problems again, starting small. 3 years later, I run a small consulting firm with 4 employees. We help logistics companies become more efficient. I'm not on magazine covers, but I'm happier and more fulfilled. True success isn't about big wins. It's about the quiet, steady climb. Washing the dishes, loading the truck, taking one small, unglamorous step, and then another. That's how you